Come on, Crusaders! It's cleanup time!
Ooh, welcome back to the Hellhole. I hope everyone's doing just fine. I'm very interested to check out this TOXIC CRUSADERS video game demo, but what's on my desk here but fabulous products. I dug deep into my personal archive to discover the original VHS copies of the TOXIC CRUSADERS that I owned back in the day, back in the early 90s, I guess. It's always 1990X here in the Hellhole. As you know, I'm internet sensation McLucifer. You're in the Hellhole. These are the original VHS tapes that I had. Look, this one's even still got the price tag down here, $12.95. So my thinking is that these were probably a little bit cheaper than some things. I would say the average VHS back then would go for about 20 to 30 bucks, maybe more, but generally around that neighborhood. But I was a fan. I was a big fan of this cartoon, so I'm very interested to see what happens in this game. So let's get into it. Let's check it out.
Make no attempt to reload your device. You are now entering the Hellhole.
Welcome back to the Hellhole. Welcome back to 1990X, and welcome to the TOXIC CRUSADERS demo. As I said in the intro, I am internet sensation McLucifer. This is the Hellhole, and I am a TOXIC CRUSADERS fan. I grew up a fan, so I'm very curious about this. Very clearly TMNT Shredder's Revenge inspired, which is something that I did enjoy playing. TOXIC CRUSADERS itself a little bit derivative of the TMNT cartoon boom and all that stuff, so they're both kind of mature source material. The TMNT comics were a little bit more edgy, more Frank Miller inspired, as silly, as a parody. They're kind of a silly concept, but a little bit edgier. TOXIC CRUSADERS comes from Toxic Avenger, the Trauma films. Let's get into it. Let's see what this is like. So clearly very much inspired by the cartoon, not the films. Don't confuse the two. I think I prefer the cartoon. I like the bright colors, the more sort of toxic green, toxy. I like the supporting cast. So this game could be very appealing to me. Let's check it out. We got playable characters. Was he Major Disaster? I think that was his name. Junkyard, which is kind of like, he was kind of like the sentimental favorite of a lot of us. Yvonne, the girlfriend. You can see Headbangers. What was his name? No Zone. And Yvonne's mother. But I'm going to go with Toxie. I'm going the Leo. I played Leo when we...
Gee, fellas. Dr. Killamah finally pulled out all the stops. Seeing as no one else is available, this looks like a job for the TOXIC CRUSADERS.
So that doesn't sound like the original voice actors, but serviceable. I don't necessarily expect original. I'm playing with the control, so far it feels pretty good. Okay, don't beat up the citizens. Hey, here we go, Radiation Rangers. The classic henchmen of Dr. Killamah. So why did I like TOXIC CRUSADERS? Well, there's a whole range of reasons. When I was a kid, I was very much fascinated by the Toxic Avenger, and there were two comic stores in town. One of them very friendly, and I would go to them throughout most of my life. But there was a second, sort of more seedy comic store, and they would have like the Toxic Avenger posters. This place is like, underground. Forget it. You literally had to go underground. You would go downstairs next to like a casino or a tavern or something. Like it was a little bit of a dodgy place, and then go through this tunnel, which had it was like a carpeted underground tunnel, very strange. And they would get to the comic store, and they always had like Toxic Avenger posters up and stuff. And I just as a kid, it was a very it was a fascinating looking character. That was before the cartoon even existed. I think the cartoon doesn't show up until like 91, 92, something like that. I could be wrong.
I enjoy a walk as much as the next hideously deformed canine, but something about the scenery today leaves a lot to be desired.
Now, Junkyard, let's not be harsh. The Tromaville Civic Association put a lot of care into their High Street restoration project. It's not their fault an army of alien interlopers decided to trample all over it.
Yeah, when I mark my territory, it's cute, but when these bozos do it, it's just plain rude.
That's fun. I like the little sort of elements of character and story. That's nice. So the Toxic Crusaders kind of hit me, in the sweet spot because I was really too young for the R-rated Toxic Avenger films, the trauma films that really do not pull their punches. It's not quite Batman '89 when it comes to superhero stuff. So the kid-friendly cartoon was a very good, adequate alternative. It satisfied my curiosity. I guess, like we always laugh at those cartoons, those animated series that were based on these R-rated properties, but I guess that's what they serve. They, as a kid, I wanted to see RoboCop. I was curious about RoboCop, so yeah, do a cartoon version. Why not? Toxic Crusaders, yeah, that's gonna satisfy my child interest, and then maybe, I guess, in this world of capitalism and intellectual property, we understand that you get them young and then they graduate to the main franchise that started it all. So I guess, and yeah, I saw the films when I could.
You maggots! You call this an invasion? I've seen marigolds with more military might. You're telling me, even when I worked for these guys, they were useless. And don't get me started on the office parties.
Oh yeah, I forget. You used to be one of the bad guys. Glad you saw the light of day.
What can I say? You've grown on me.
The voices are pretty good. It's been a while since I've watched the show, but that sounds about right. They're not bad. Obviously, this is really derivative of Shredder's Revenge, but that's okay. It's a little simple, but it's clean, it's appealing. Hey, is that Audrey 2? I finally remember. I feel like we're talking about Little Shop of Horrors not that long ago. It keeps coming up. Audrey 2, that's the name I couldn't remember. Can I get in here? No. I do have another attack, but I don't want to waste it. There you go. You can spin around moppy. Are these like greasers? Kung Fu greasers? What is going on here? I don't remember them from the show, but fair enough. I'm trying to think like who would you put in this game? Mower Man? I can't remember the bad guys. It was mostly like Psycho Bonehead who worked for... They're kind of like the Bebop and Rocksteady for Dr. Killamoff, who's kind of like, he's kind of like Shredder and Krang. You had the, was it Zazostra? Was like the little insect overlord from the other planet that was kind of like the Krang to Dr. Killamoff's Shredder. I remember this stuff. Like this isn't a gimmick. I was a fan. I was definitely a fan. I think I liked it better than the Ninja Turtles. Certainly, like when it was on, the Ninja Turtles were kind of on the way out. Like I've said before, you go back to that 80s, early 90s cartoon and it goes off the rails real quick. Like, It's not a great cartoon by any means, by any measure. I'm maybe being a little too critical of it. It's been a long time since I've watched a whole lot of episodes. I pick them up here and there, but I know like the animation goes off the rails. They don't even have their weapons.
Go?
Looks like they're heading into that diner for a bite to eat. An army marches on its stomach, after all.
Oh, wow, dinner time! Do you think they allow dogs? Whoa!
Nice.
They're trashing the place! Not cool, bug dudes!
Not cool indeed, Fender. Disorderly conduct is one thing, but trashing a small business outside of a public holiday? That's un-American!
And that's probably the thing that I liked about Toxic Crusaders, that it was kind of like, it was a little bit parody, it was a little bit comedy. I liked the levity, the nonsense. Although this is like, being in a diner reminds me of the film Mayhem in the Diner. I wonder how much the game is going to like blend those references, work in stuff from the movie. It'd be really cool if, I mean, it would probably be DLC. Like Shredder's Revenge has new DLC right now. You can get Usagi Yojimbo, who was a crossover guest. You know, that's Stan Sakai's character. That's not a Ninja Turtles original character. I think a lot of kids didn't know that. But you know, if you're in the comic book world, you knew Usagi Yojimbo had his own series and was totally unrelated to the Turtles. Just a crossover that fit well. But in that vein, it'd be kind of nice to see like Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD in this game. Particularly, you know, there's on the DVDs and stuff, you can see they did do a little test, sort of like a cartoon intro for Sergeant Kabuki Man, but it never got made. So I guess it would give you a skin option. I'd probably rather he look like he does in the films. The cartoon version wasn't quite as good as I remember. I think he had a different costume. But seeing Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD in the Toxic Crusaders game would be nice.
Lunchtime rush, but this is ridiculous.
Can you blame him, Doc? At these prices, you'd be crazy not to eat here.
Well, that's a relief. Practice a little mad science over the years, and people make all kinds of assumptions about your sanity.
It'd be nice to see. I'm trying to think. Like, what am I looking for in the finished game? Kabuki Man would be good. It'd be nice to see Lloyd Kaufman in here. I can't remember if he did the voice of. There was like a family, and they all had massive noses and beards. Like I think the wife and kids did as well. I forget if they all had the beards. Maybe. It'd be good if you get him in there as that or something. Oh, this guy's bringing like the strats. I gotta. Yeah, there you go. Ooh, this guy's a little slick. He knows how to block. Nobody blocks. You idiot. Blocking's for nerds. How tough is this guy? Oh man. Come on, grab him. Can I get a jump kick in? The jump is a little bit anemic. It's not a great jump. Oh, there you go. There's a good jump. I just wasn't doing it right. There you go. Get out of there. I don't know how long this demo is, but you know, I'm getting a good taste. I'm getting a good impression. If the price is right, I think this is definitely a good game. I would check it out. Like Shredder's Revenge, it's a little, you know, you're hammering those buttons. Hopefully the story can elevate it a little bit. I like the little intersections of levity, of humor.
Time to give these guys their just desserts.
Just as long as they finish their vegetables first. Yeah.
Ooh, and then maybe they can visit the salad bar.
Easy now. Let's not wear out the joke.
It's corny, but the show was corny. It's in keeping. Who doesn't like some bad jokes? Come on. What writer's room are you in? Come on, relax. Man, Leroy's kicking my ass here. Two-faced Leroy. Whoa, who's this? Ay, ay, ay. She kind of reminds me of, isn't there a chick in Kabuki Man NYPD who's a bit like that? I don't know if she has a whip. With the, you know, like the gang. Maybe a bit of a stretch. Pick this guy up. Yikes. What is a fighting game without a lady with a whip? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. Belt scrolling beat 'em up.
Let
Oh.
that be a lesson to you. Honestly, manners these days.
After them, fellas. We still need to split the check. Superheroes aren't made of money, you know.
We're still going. They're giving you a good taste. Why not? I wonder if you can do like a grab or something with the mop. Maybe there's more moves to unlock in the main game or something. I don't know. My memory is that like
Oh, that duck to kill him off! I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. Now what rhymes with get out of here?
Game of the year.
That seems unlikely.
ambitious. I gotta get that food, man. Out of my way, lady. Get out of my face. That's not what I wanted to grab. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ah, come on, you son. I wonder, are we limited by lives here? What's going on? Yeah, like, my memory is that the mop can kind of like, the mop is alive and can do little, like it stretches, grabs things and stuff. So maybe there'd be interesting moves like that in the final game. I don't know. I don't want to project too much on this thing, but you know, you like to see those kinds of details as a fan, and it rounds the game out a little bit better. Hey, projectile blocking the other one. That's pretty high level gaming, man. I got the strats going. It's a little difficult when you're trying to grab things to get the right stuff when things are overlapping. Like I was trying to pick that guy up, I guess. I accidentally ate an apple. I'm not sure about that jump throwing directly down. I don't particularly understand that as a choice, but fair enough. It's not too bad. I just gotta remember. You. Well, that was no good. Can I move out of this corner, please? One mild frustration with the demo, I couldn't actually resize the screen, so I can't see the chat. And it's kind of like it's in my face. I got a big monitor and it's right in front of me. So it's kind of like, you know, it'd be nice to be able to change the size of the screen. Maybe there's a way to do that I couldn't find. I've got it in windowed mode, but I couldn't resize. And I'm told that sometimes some games just won't let you resize. On that note, as far as the chat goes here on Twitch Live, I'm here live. You might be watching in the archive. Thank you for doing that. That's fantastic as always. You can find me here on Twitch by heading over to twitch.tv/MickLucifer.
Attacking our home? This time you've gone too far, Killamov.
He has been trying to kill us for 2 stages now.
I know, but a man's dump is his castle. This is personal.
So you can find me on Twitch live. Make sure you hit subscribe. You'll get a notification. Ring the bell. Do all that stuff. But over on YouTube, you'll find this. There's other things going on. I think tonight we're going to have some more Rocket League. The next big step in getting even with Rocket League. You can find if you're in the archive on YouTube, go searching for like Hellhole Ninja Turtles, Hellhole Shredder's Revenge. You'll get a complete playthrough of that. That was really exciting. I don't necessarily go out of my way to do the latest and greatest games, but that one I was pretty excited about, and I managed to get it, so that was kind of nice. I'm a little late to the party on this demo, but you can find this demo on Steam for free right now. Why wouldn't you? You might as well check it out. I believe the game has been delayed until next year. It was originally meant to come out this year. Hopefully they're ironing out whatever they need to. Maybe when the full version comes out, I'll check that out at some point. It'd be nice if it came out on PlayStation. That's my preferred platform for this kind of game. Although, you know, we're in the PC zone now. We're PC gaming like big boys and girls here in the Hellhole. Not traditionally something that I do, but something that I very much am doing right now. I'm also working my way through Vampire Survivors, trying to do kind of like a complete run of that. Still more wonders to find, mysteries to solve. So keep an eye out for that. There's a playlist if you need it on YouTube. We got Street Fighter 6 cooking as well. Plenty of fighting type games. This will probably be in the fighting game playlist category at some point. Watch out for that. I just got kicked in the back by a damned radiation ranger. The trick with this one is just going to be like, what can you exploit to extend the game, to keep the game fresh? Essentially, we're doing a lot of the same right now, which I wouldn't say is a bad thing at this stage. It's nice that we've worked through like Tromaville. And now we're in the dump where the Toxic Crusaders live. This is their headquarters. What is that eye? That robot eye? That's got to be from something. Kind of reminds me of the top of the Technodrome from Ninja Turtles. Is that a little bit of a nod maybe to the origins of this thing? I don't remember. Maybe that was in an episode of the cartoon or something. I don't know if I saw every single episode or not. I never saw the one that was based on the film. I think there was like a retelling. Maybe it was a 2-part episode or something. I think it was cut together as an animated movie as well. Never saw that.
Toxic Crusaders.
Dr. Killamov. Attacking the good people of Tromaville is one thing, but trespassing on our toxic waste dump? Where's your sense of decency?
And smell.
Decency's got nothing to do with it. I'm just finishing what I started days ago. Psycho, launch the weapon.
You got it, boss.
It's time to put an end to this ridiculous charade. And the only ones trespassing here are you, on my planet.
It's pretty solid. You like that? We got a boss fight.
Stronger than ever.
I like that little gag. You know, he started his plan years ago. I presume that's a nod to the original cartoon, where we're maintaining kayfabe that this game is as fresh as ever, and it's not a 30-year-old franchise or something. That's fun. Like I said, the show was very lighthearted. It was borderline superhero parody, Ninja Turtles parody to some degree. So a little bit of a knowing metatextual joke like that is very much in keeping. I enjoy that. That's nice. Maintain the levity. I mean, even the movies, although they're R-rated, they don't take themselves seriously. It's not, you know, heaven forbid there's ever a Zack Snyder Toxic Avenger. I believe there is a new Toxic Avenger in the works, and I think Peter Dinklage is involved, which is a little strange. I don't quite know where they're going with that. Peter Dinklage as Toxie. That's a little odd to me, but fair enough. Can I, like, grab one of these dudes and chuck them around? Am I maybe holding down when I do that jumping throw? Maybe that's the problem. I think it throws in partly in the direction that you're holding. Could be wrong. I'm not playing as well as you could. I acknowledge that. I've lost many lives that I shouldn't have. Don't let that be a reflection of the game. That's on me. Hey, we got him. Not bad.
Take that, you overgrown oil spill!
Yeah, take a hike, kill him off. The only thing slick around here is the beatdown we just dished out.
Excellent work, Toxic Crusaders, and excellent wordplay. It's days like these that make me proud to be a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength.
Is that the demo done? That was fun. I like the little story bits. They maybe come in a little too often, but
No!
that's fun.
Who could have possibly seen this coming?
Told you so.
What was that?
Nothing, boss. Say, isn't that Zazosta calling?
Kill him off, come in, you idiot! What's this I'm hearing about Baluto getting blown up? It's not as if sentient oil slicks grow on trees, you know!
Well, actually, your foulness, if our master plan comes to fruition, they just might.
No thanks to you, kill him off! And it's my master plan, not yours! Now don't you have another level to disappoint me on?
Yes, of course, Zazosta. We were just, heading there now. Although that's a little harsh, perhaps.
Hey, he's getting away! And before we could bring him to justice for all his evil schemes and stuff. Don't sweat it, No Zone. Looks like Kill 'Em Off's heading into the Tromaville Health Club. We can bring him to justice and work on our glutes at the same time.
You leave my glute out of this.
Good thinking, Fender. A healthy planet starts with a healthy body, as I always say. Come on, Toxic Crusaders. It's shape-up time!
So that's the demo. I thought that was pretty good. That's fine. You know, it's not going to be like a AAA top price game. It's got to be priced right, but I had a nice enough time. I'd be interested to see what other levels and bosses they can come up with, what kind of material they can mine from the cartoon, maybe from the films. You gotta have like a balance. It's gotta be in the cartoon style. Like I said, I'd love to see Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD in there because I enjoyed that movie, and there is some sort of cartoon reference for that. But hopefully, if they did do it, they would use the design from the film because I think that was a little bit better. And he's got interesting like abilities. I don't know what kind of abilities all the characters are gonna have. I guess like how long did that take? Half an hour. I mean, we could go again with a different character. I guess I'll try out Junkyard. He was always a favorite.
Gee, fellas, Dr. Killamov finally pulled out all the stops. Seeing as no one else is available.
Hopefully the audio's
this looks
okay.
Like a job for the Toxic
I don't know. I
Crusaders.
don't know if that's a little loud. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm not competing with loud noise again. These audio problems there's always something. Games, different sources with different volumes. So here's the basic moves for Junkyard. He's classic, you know. Junkyard was the only character whose action figure I got. The action figures were very interesting to me as a kid. Sort of big. They're a bit bigger than some other action figures. A bit more. I don't know how you describe them. They weren't overly detailed, but they had like a lot of interesting design and all that kind of stuff going on. I would have liked to have gotten more, but you know, them's the breaks when you're a kid. You get what you can.
I enjoy a walk as much as the next hideously deformed canine, but something about the scenery today leaves a lot to be desired.
Now, Junkyard, let's not be harsh. The Tromaville Civic Association put a lot of care into their High Street restoration project. It's not their fault an army of alien interlopers decided to trample all over it.
Yeah, when I mark my territory, it's cute, but when these bozos do it, it's just plain rude.
So I guess there might be some variation in moves, like if you're adding a direction or something. I'm a little bit unclear what's doing what here. That's nice. It'd be cool if they could add maybe some different wrinkles based on what character you're playing. Because that was something that Shredder's Revenge was lacking a little. Like even playing Casey Jones after you unlock him doesn't really change the story all that much. So it'd be good if maybe they could do something where each character has some different dialogue or something. Maybe there's like a slightly different focus depending on the character you're playing, something like that. That might be a lot of work for what I guess is ostensibly like an independently developed game. You know, this isn't AAA, which isn't a knock on it. You know, I think it's good for what it is. So far, so good. It's very, you know, it's competent. It doesn't feel too bad. I played a little bit with like a keyboard just when I first downloaded it. I was making sure that it ran and all that.
Look sharp, you maggots! You call this an invasion? I've seen marigolds with more military might. You're telling me, even when I worked for these guys, they were useless. And don't get me started on the office parties.
Oh yeah, I forget. You used to be one of the bad guys. Glad you saw the light of day.
What can I say? You've grown on me.
The keyboard controls were a little bit stiffer, I found. Definitely enjoying playing with a control better. I'm using a PS4 control, so it's very comfortable in the hands. Comfortable and familiar. Nice that it seems to be fully enabled. I didn't have to do anything special. I just plugged my control in with the USB and I was ready to go. No issues. So that's pretty nice. Feels pretty good. It's a lot smoother with the control, I think. I found that even with Vampire Survivors. I tried that with the control, and it was a little bit slicker than when I usually play with the keyboard. But a game as simple as that, you know, keyboard isn't too bad. I'm not sure what's going on with that move. Yeah, I don't know what regulates that. Can I just do that whenever I want? Not sure. It seems like I'm not giving up any health or anything to do that, so that's kind of nice. Controls are pretty simple. There's a separate button for picking things up. Otherwise, it's the two buttons. There's a jump and there's an attack, and then you've got a super attack on the fourth. It feels like controls that you would expect of like a Genesis game, or even there's 4 buttons, so maybe Super Nintendo is a better comparison. Having the button to pick stuff up reminds me of Streets of Rage, which you know, is not a bad comparison. One of the greatest belt-scrolling beat-em-ups there has ever been. I'll have to get into some Streets of Rage. I mean, Streets of Rage is what started this whole thing with Streets of Rage 4. That really set things in motion. I feel like Shredder's Revenge was very much carrying on what started with Streets of Rage 4, and now we've got the Toxic Crusaders, sort of leveraging Shredder's Revenge. Shredder's Revenge has got DLC. I don't know if I'm going to check that out. I'm not a big DLC guy. I like to, you know, put my meager funds towards something new, get a new experience rather than just extending the one I've got. Although, you know, Usagi Yojimbo is a good character to add. I like the comic book inspired black and white palettes that you can use for the Ninja Turtles in Shredder's Revenge. That's pretty good. I mean, I'd give it a shot if I had it.
Where'd everybody go?
Looks
If it comes
like
my
they're heading
way.
into that diner for a bite to eat. An army marches on its stomach, after all.
Oh, wow, dinner time. Do you think they allow dogs?
We've done this. We get it.
Whoa, they're trashing the place.
I'm reluctant to talk over the voices because I don't know what my audio levels are like.
Fender. Disorderly conduct is one thing, but trashing a small business outside of a public holiday? That's un-American!
I don't remember these flamethrower guys from the show, but maybe they're in there somewhere. If not, I mean, some new material is not a bad thing. You don't need this to be slavishly relying on the old things. There was a Marvel Comics series. I only ever got one issue of it. I'm trying to remember who was it. Like Bill Sienkiewicz or somebody was doing like this, or Simon Bisley. I forget who it was. It was somebody you wouldn't necessarily expect doing Toxic Crusaders. Maybe there was a Buscema involved. Like I don't know who it was, but I'll have to dig that issue out. See what was going on. There was like a Toxic was trying to clean a public bathroom, and there was like some sort of living ooze just running amok. Pretty wild. I mean, a lot of toilet-based humor in this stuff. Fair enough. Why not? Kind of getting my butt kicked here. Maybe not playing those top tier pro strats. Losing a little focus. I guess he's got like a back heel kick or something. I don't quite know how I'm doing that. There's clearly more going on than I realize, so that's I would say that's a vote in favor of the game. I don't know how I'm doing that, like spinning tail whip. There goes another life. What? I think so. This is like developed by Retroware, which I think they have like an NES-inspired game out now called Prison City that looks pretty good. That's a game I wouldn't mind trying. There is a demo. I might check that out. If you think that's a good idea, leave a comment in the archive. You know, in the comments. You can leave a comment in the the chat, but I can't actually see the chat right now. I'll check that chat when I'm done. If you're there, thank you. I'm sorry I can't acknowledge you right now.
I've heard of the lunchtime rush, but this is ridiculous.
Can you blame him, Doc? At these prices, you'd be crazy not to eat here.
Well, that's a relief. Practice a little mad science over the years, and people make all kinds of assumptions about your sanity.
We're in the Toxic Crusaders category right now on Twitch, doing this live. I don't know how many people are going to discover it, but I felt it was important to be true to the spirit of the categories. I could have put this in demos or something, but I don't know. I like being true blue in that sense. Here's Kung Fu Carl, causing some trouble, causing a ruckus in the diner. We got Greaser Kung Fu guy. We got Two-Face guy with a knife. I don't know who's dressing these guys. I wonder that guy with the Two-Face seems like he's got to be from something. I wonder, there could even be like some of these guys from other Troma things. I'm beginning to wonder. And there's 4, I mean, if you don't know, there's 4 Toxic Crusaders movies. There's the, Toxic Avenger movies. There's the, there's a Toxic Avenger musical as well. So, I don't know, like, these could be pulled from all of those. I don't really know. I don't remember what I've seen and what I haven't. I think I've seen maybe a couple of the Toxic Avenger films, but not all of them. Wouldn't mind a DVD box set, but that one slipped out of reach. Why can I not pick this guy up? Grab him! So this guy can block your attacks, but you can jump attack and you can grab. Pretty standard stuff for belt scrolling beat 'em ups.
Time to give these guys their just desserts.
Just as long as they finish their vegetables first. Yeah.
Ooh, and then maybe they can visit the salad bar.
Easy now. Let's not wear out the joke.
If you haven't figured it out, so like, I think his name's Major Disaster. He's like a military vegetation guy. No Zone is like a pilot guy with a wheel for a foot who sort of scoots around, but he's got the big nose and the big sneezing powers. He can smell, he can sneeze. Toxie's got his mop and he's green and all that stuff. He's got a girlfriend. I guess that's a superpower for these guys. Headbanger's the mad scientist and the sort of like surfer himbo kind of guy. And then Junkyard is the man dog. The junkyard dog. Very literal. And they've all got their little character quirks, which you can kind of see coming out here in the dialogue and the little story sequences. Which, like I said, are pretty representative of the show. You know, it feels authentic in that sense. So that's kind of nice. You know, I don't know that anybody's sweating Toxic Crusaders canon, but it's nice that it feels authentic at least. It's not a hard reset. Can I grab her? I can grab her. Pretty good. Just keep it appropriate, friends. I'm playing so sloppily, and I know it. I'm so sorry. I always feel like that's a little unfair to the developers, but you know. I'm just doing my thing here. I'm hanging out. We're playing some games. That's what we do. It's my second playthrough. I'm maybe not quite as engaged as I could be.
Let that be a lesson to you.
It's really hard for me to know because
matters these days.
I set the audio separately to the audio that I can hear. The audio coming out of my speakers is so loud as well, which is a general problem I have with these speakers. And I can't control audio. It's a whole thing. I got like audio problems in every conceivable way. If you can hear me and you can hear everything in the game, then that's a win. Hopefully we're close. It seems like it's a pretty loud game. Like the audio's not messing around. I should have done more tests. I don't know, man. At some point you just gotta play the damn game. When I'm done here, it'll be pretty close to time for the next getting even with the Rocket League. I've been playing a whole lot of Rocket League, just losing my mind, trying to get 50% wins. There are highs and there are lows. This is going to be a long series. Don't expect this to be just about the progress. This is about playing Rocket League. Maybe trying to get a little bit better. I'm a low-level player. Like, make no mistake. I'm not doing the tricks. I'm not flying around in the air. I'm just playing the game as it comes. I think I'm good enough to get 50%. I'm fighting just under. Like, I'm close. I'm close.
Oh, that duck to kill him off! I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind. Now what rhymes with get out of here?
Game of the year.
That seems unlikely.
If you don't know the show, the joke there is like Yvonne writes she writes songs on the accordion for the team, she's not a cheerleader in the conventional sense, but she'll write like ballads and things. There's like a good gag in one of the episodes where she's written a song called "We're the Toxic Crusaders," but Nozone doesn't like it because she's not technically a Toxic Crusader, so she's singing "We're the Toxic Crusaders." He adds "Except Yvonne." It's a good little gag. There's lots of it's just lots of little gags. It's a fun show. It's colorful fun. It's kid friendly. What do you want? Relax. But if you didn't understand the joke, she's not just setting up a Game of the Year joke. She writes songs, so she's trying to think of lyrics. That's character stuff, kids. That's perfectly acceptable. I feel like this is the kind of thing that if you don't know the source material, is everybody going to try to be too cool for school and be complaining about the comedy, the jokes, the gags? Because everybody's in the Saturday Night Live writers' room, writing the just top-notch stuff every night. Relax. Oh yeah, there's like oh wow, I didn't even mess with that. There's a dash attack. Oh man. Dash attack with a couple of combo hits. Man, I'm not exploiting this to its fullest at all. That scream is not messing around. Holy cow. I wish I would stop doing those little hops. I wanted like a good jump. I think I'm tapping it too lightly. Yeah. How do you think the radiation rangers compare to the foot soldiers in Ninja Turtles? I like the radiation rangers better. I think they're a more interesting design. I forget what their deal is. I think they're just like freaks. Just some mutant freaks from whatever planet Dr. Killmoff and the gang are from. I'm getting totally mobbed here. Oh, come on. I like that like crazy cartoon cacophony. I'm getting flamed here. Grab him! I feel like this guy is easier to grab from underneath than on top. I could maybe do with things being a little bit weaker. I gotta get it. Can we wrap this up? Oh my god. This guy's like tailing me perfectly as if he were my teammate in Rocket League. Quit tailing me, you punk. You're gonna double commit. We done? We good? Nope. My god, these guys, how many hits do they take?
Attacking our home? This time you've gone too far, Killmoff.
He has been trying to kill us for 2 stages now.
I know, but a man's dump is his castle. This is personal.
Is this like not doing damage or what? Because this feels like it should be a heavy hit. And yet, look at this. These guys they're not going down. Are you kidding me right now? Maybe need to dial down the the required hits. I don't know. I think I'm just being cranky. I'm still getting over some stuff health-wise. Nobody needs to hear about that. That's boring. Can we drop a car on him? Nope. I presume this demo is like infinite lives. That's very generous. We're coming up to the boss. I feel like indie retro games maybe have a tendency to go too far with the bosses, too much health. It's like extending the game, but it's also getting a little tedious. I thought this boss was okay. We'll see how we do on the second go, as I'm playing like an idiot. When you get swarmed like that, that's a pretty good move. Kind of gets you out of it. Probably should have used it then. Getting these guys lined up with the same plane is just a little frustrating. I feel like that should be doing more damage than it is. There doesn't seem to be a lot of distinction between the different attacks.
Dr. Kill 'em off. Attacking the good people of Tromaville is one thing, but trespassing on our toxic waste dump? Where's
Hopefully
your
these
sense of
cutscenes
decency?
or dialogue scenes will be
smell.
skippable in the final game.
Decency's got nothing to do with it.
Seems like
I'm
it's
just
not right
finishing
now.
what I started years.
But that's fair
I
enough.
mean, days ago. Psycho, launch the weapon.
You got it, boss.
It's time to put an end to this ridiculous charade. And the only ones trespassing here are you, on my planet.
It's Paluto, the living oil slick.
I can see that there's been activity in the chat. So again, sorry if I've missed you. If you're still there, I can't see the chat. It's all game all the time in here. Thanks for swinging by if you have. Maybe think about following. I'll definitely see that, or I'll hear it, I think. Will I hear it? I hope so. This is good. So how much damage is that doing? Use the boss to tell. Oh my god, I'm playing like trash! That's got to be like one of the great things about streaming is that you know there's no pressure. You can play as badly as you like. Nobody minds. definitely doesn't make it harder. Ah, come on, get out of here. I'm grabbing this guy. I'm picking this guy up and I'm throwing him. Come here, you. Tell me that missed. Ugh. Animation on this is pretty good. squidging around. I don't remember this guy in the cartoon, but maybe he's there. Maybe he's from the comics. I don't know how much they're looking at. Maybe he's an original creation. Like I said, I think that's okay. Adding some extra stuff probably helps, because from my memory, there's not that many episodes. There's only so much you can draw on. So creating some extra stuff that's in keeping, that fits, is probably not a bad way to go. But I gotta think, first level boss. This is probably a reference that I just don't remember or don't know. Let's get this done. Getting in, doing those combo punches, that's what you want to do. I would like it maybe if the dash attack did a little bit more damage. I would like it. Maybe if jump kicks did just a little bit more damage. It feels like they're not wildly different. But maybe in the final game there'll be settings for things like that. I don't really know what to expect. I get the impression Prison City has a lot of settings. I did check out a little bit of Mike Matei live. Mike Matei was playing it.
Of superhuman size and strength.
I guess RetroWare have something to do with like those AVGN guys, all of that stuff. So I don't quite know what the affiliation is. But there you go, second run through. I played like an absolute chump. I did the game no favors. I did not service the game at all very well. But I thought that was a good time. It'd be interesting if they could do something to create a little bit more intrigue on the second playthrough, because that was a problem I had even with like Shredder's Revenge. Second playthrough, there's no real difference. It wasn't that engaging. I might have liked something interesting. I don't know what. Like even like a second loop where they just like make it harder or they change the colors of things or something. That second loop stuff never engages me that much. It'd be great if they could do something like really interesting. I don't know what. Some twist on the story, some discernible difference.
We were just heading there now.
I don't know. I mean, that's maybe asking a lot for this kind of game and this kind of production. You know, it's not, like I said, it's not AAA, you know. Hey, is that Sergeant Kabuki Man top right on the billboard? I think it is. So there's your little nod. I'm sure there's some other Easter eggs in the background. I thought I saw Audrey too. Maybe there's a trauma version of Little Shop of Horrors. Maybe that was a specific reference that I'm not aware of. I like movies. We're gradually talking more about some of my interests here in the Hellhole. Trying to work them in. I like movies and stuff, but I was never across trauma. That was I was really incredibly very fascinated by Toxic Avenger, got into Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD. I might even like that one better personally. I think Sergeant Kabuki Man is a very fun movie. There's only one of them though. Sergeant Kabuki Man does find his way into the Toxic Avenger movies, and there is at least one or two of the movies, he does have like a little team of superheroes, but none of them are these guys from the Toxic Crusaders. They were for the cartoon. Be interesting if those characters could get worked into this game. I think there's a lot of room for like creating some overlap, exploiting all the available, Toxic Avenger, Toxie references. You really want to get as much as you can out of it. Because like I said, I just, I enjoyed the cartoon, but I'm not sure if there's enough in the cartoon for the game. Like I said, I might not have seen all the episodes though. I don't remember Paluto, so maybe he's from one of the episodes I didn't see. But it would be interesting just to see, can they get those movie references in? Maybe get Sergeant Kabuki Man. I mean, if you can unlock Sergeant Kabuki Man in NYPD the way you unlock Casey Jones in Shredder's Revenge, that'd be pretty satisfying. That would elevate what would otherwise be maybe a straightforward sort of product. The more you can kind of like, goose it up, make it a little bit extra appealing. That kind of thing helps. I don't know. I don't want to expect too much. I don't want to ask for too much beyond what's reasonable. But like I said, I enjoyed the demo. I think this is a pretty effective game. What do you think? Leave a comment in the archive if you're watching on YouTube. Was this Valvez BTW? Sorry, I missed you, buddy. I couldn't see the chat. Them's the breaks. Sometimes that happens. Hopefully you will forgive me for this slight technologically caused indiscretion, and maybe hit that follow, subscribe on YouTube, ring the bell, leave a comment, like and subscribe, and do all that stuff. It helps budding young gentlemen such as myself who are venturing into this weird and wonderful world of video-based independent media. I don't know, what do you call this? I don't want to call it, I don't know what. Forget about it. Toxic Crusaders, I had a nice time. This is an old favorite. Maybe we'll dig some more old favorites out at some stage. I had the VHS tapes earlier. I don't know, I got some other stuff. Maybe we'll just dig it out and have nostalgic old times. Until then, I will see you next time. It's cleanup time. Keep being, hideously deformed of superhuman size and strength. And I'll see you next time. Adios, amigos.